And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live Left Left podcast. We are back with Garry, who's got a halo around him.
I finally went into heaven, guys. I went into heaven.
Yep. This is a memorial service. Anyway, we got a lot
Yep.
to talk about this week. You guys don't know, I just got back yesterday from the Chili's vlog that you will see soon on the channel. We went on a big trip to go to Chili's. Hint, it was not fun. Well, the trip was fun. Chili's was not fun. Got Dr. Pepper too. Dr. Pepper.
Good.
Anyway, so there's going to be some stuff from that trip included here, but just know that you are going to see the full extent of that experience on the channel coming soon. Got a couple things from that we're going to talk about today because I visited two new MLB stadiums on that trip, the Brewers Stadium and the classic Wrigley Field. So we're going to go over that. We got a lot of other stuff to talk about too. The World Cup has ended. We're going to go over that results, other baseball talk, NASCAR stuff, and I think I've got a few basketball related things as well to go over. So we got a good amount of stuff. So we're going to jump into it. We don't have any trivia this week because I didn't come up with any, though I probably should have. So unless, Garry, you have any trivia.
Michigan State's Drew.
Drew?
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
Trying to think. I'm only saying maybe because I don't know if this will count as a thing that we're talking about, but it might because it's in the Northwoods League. So Tyler might not know this, but since 2019, when was the last time Kalamazoo beat the Traverse City Pit Spitters?
Like
In the series.
I'm about to say, like in the game or in a series?
Series.
2022.
It is actually, from what it says here, 2021.
It's close.
And that was the year Traverse City won the championship. So, we will get to Kalamazoo later, but when I tell you about it, let me tell you something. I ain't going to be happy about it.
True and real. All right. I do have also one football thing to go over this week. We'll start off with that. Le'Veon Bell got arrested. I thought this was funny.
Of course he did.
He got arrested on a warrant tied to a child support case. He got arrested in Ohio, so...
Of course he did. Because why not? Michigan State players always get freaking arrested.
Well, he's an idiot. Through and through. He's a pretty big idiot, so I'm not surprised that he got arrested. But just wanted to point that out. Also, I do have a couple basketball things to go over regarding MSU basketball. There was they made the announcement of a home and home series coming up this season and next season with Tennessee.
Ew.
So this year they are playing, this coming season on November 17th, they are playing in Knoxville. The next year they'll play in East Lansing or probably Detroit because that's where all the big names go because they can sell more seats and get more TV revenue. But that's pretty cool. MSU and Tennessee have, I don't think, ever played a regular season game against each other. They played the exhibition game in 2022 for the Maui Relief Fund. And I was at that game. That was a really good game. It was a bullshit game, but it was a good game nonetheless. So I think those will be some good matchups there. Hopefully, unlike the Arkansas series, hopefully it's a true home-and-home series, but we know how money works, and that probably won't stand, but who knows. Still pretty cool that they're still doing the home-and-home stand. Also, Jackson Kohler is apparently returning to college, even though he looked like he was going to go to the NBA. He played in the summer league and stuff, but it seems like he's going to return to college, but he's not coming back to MSU for his final year of eligibility. He's going to go to BYU.
Ew.
Big U indeed. It's not super surprising he is a Utah native, and he played for the Utah Jazz Summer League, so he'll probably end up going to Utah to play in the NBA if he plays in the NBA. But it kind of sucks that he just couldn't come back to MSU where he'd been playing for so long. Anyways, also BYU, terrible school. Ugh. Whatever. Probably gonna get a bunch of playing time, and he's probably gonna suck because it's BYU. But that's all I had for basketball. We're breezing through it here, through the smaller stuff. Gary, it looks like you have one hockey-related thing before we move on to
yes,
real meat and potatoes.
I do. Hold on a second here. All right. Let me find it. I know where it's under. I'm just trying to get to it. Right here. So, this is for the ECHL. This is the one bit of hockey that we have, I believe. Right?
It's the only hockey thing that was on there.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you put anything on there or not. But
no.
The Penguins have announced a new ECHL affiliate with the defending ECHL champions, the Florida Everblades, which means for now, the longest time, the Wheeling Nailers will not be an affiliate of the Penguins. The Wheeling Nailers were the affiliates of the Penguins for so long. And now it's Florida Everblades, which this probably means Florida Everblades are probably not going to win another championship for a while because the Penguins have nothing on their side. But I can look real quick to see if the Nailers actually have let's see here. No, that's not what I want. There we go. All right. So from what it shows here, the Pittsburgh Penguins were an affiliate of the Nailers for 29 years. That's a long time. If to compare that, they were an affiliate of them for probably almost the same time. Actually, 1 year shorter than the Lugnuts' existence. They probably joined in 1997 when the Lugnuts joined in 1996. So that tells you something. Right now, I don't think they have anybody. Yeah, it says to be dated on their Wikipedia. so they've already changed it. But honestly, I don't know who does not have an ECHL team right now in the NHL. So, teams, not Team Builder. I use that for a lot of college football. Anyways, that don't dang it. Sorry, this is taking forever. Have a ECHL team in the NHL. So right now, here are the possible affiliates that could possibly get it. And there's only 2 right now. Columbus and Ottawa are the only 2. It used to be also Carolina, but with the Greensboro Gargoyles joining in last year, they have an ECHL affiliate. So, in the next coming weeks, maybe next week, maybe later on today, I don't know, we might hear either Ottawa take them or Columbus. And if that's the case, I don't know if they're going to have to change their color because the color is based on Pittsburgh colors for wheeling. But I don't know. I hope they go to Ottawa because Ottawa has some good prospects there that they could easily use. But yeah, Columbus and Ottawa.
Good to know. Good to know. We're actually going to skip baseball right now because I want to save that for the end for obvious reasons.
Then I'm also updating some stuff.
We're going to jump down. I want to talk about the MSU Hall of Fame inductees for 2026. This just came out. Go over who got inducted. So here we go. Hall of Fame class. So here we go. The inductees to the Michigan State University Athletics Hall of Fame in 2026. Lindsey Bowen from women's basketball. Dan Curry from football. Tico Duckett from football as well as track and field. Walt Drenth from cross country and track and field. Sue Ladder and Sue Ladder and I keep wanting to say Anderson.
English, Tyler.
I keep wanting to say Anderson and it's Addison. Sue Ladder Addison, women's cross country and track and field. Kaylin Likus, everybody should know who that is. MSU great in basketball. And Leah O'Connor from cross country and track and field. It was announced that they're going to be inducted. The induction ceremony is in the middle of September. So we still have about a month and a half to go. Well, closer to 2 months, actually, before that. And they'll get honored at the MSU football game versus Eastern the day after. So, pretty cool stuff there. I don't know too much about most of these people, except for Kaylin Likus. He was a pretty good basketball player for MSU, but worthy of all of them for sure. So congratulations, guys, on getting in the Hall of Fame. So just wanted to touch on that. Also want to touch on the World Cup final. Last we checked, we were partway through the semifinals. So let's go through the remaining results as it is over. The second semifinal was England and Argentina. Argentina won 2-1 to go to the final. So England and France faced off in the third place game, and England won in a pretty high scoring affair, especially for a soccer game. It was 6-4. England won. It's pretty big for a soccer game. A lot of these scores have been in the 2s and 1s range. So the team's going 6-4. That's pretty big. But in the World Cup final on Sunday, Spain beat Argentina 1-0. Pretty big upset there. Messi loses. Pretty big upset, guys.
Still better than Ronaldo.
Apparently, Argentina did not really be able to get any shots on goal, which is very, very... What the fuck is this? Get this off my face. Apparently, Argentina did not really get any shots on goal, which is extremely unfortunate, but also really, really funny. So, congratulations, Spain, winners of the 2026 World Cup. And, yeah, fuck you, Messi.
It's okay. He's better than Ronaldo.
True. The other big news in this other sports category, Michigan's athletic director is stepping down at the end of the calendar season. Anybody who's anybody should know that this was coming because he has been at the head of a lot of these scandals that Michigan has been involved with over the last few years. I think the tipping point was the Sharon Moore incident. So not super surprising. He can quietly fuck off. He should have been fired a long time ago. But, gets to step down on his own terms, so everybody wins, right? No, he's stepping down at the end of the year because he probably gets a pay bonus as a result. Probably also so he can hire another basketball coach before he leaves, which who knows who that's going to be. But still a lot of open positions there that Michigan will have to rapidly fill as the season is upcoming. Then, of course, we got to talk about NASCAR. We'll do NASCAR right now, as there isn't a whole lot to talk about with NASCAR. But North Wilkesboro happened. It was something. Tell you that much. I didn't get to watch any of it because we were out and about on our expeditures, again, that you will see. But I did watch the highlights. The truck race looked pretty decent. Lots of good action all throughout.
Truck race was good. I mean, a North Wilkesboro race at this track with trucks is beautiful. Beautiful. Loved it.
Yeah, a lot of good passing, lots of good racing action all throughout. Lane Riggs won. So not super surprising. He's been on a pretty big tear this year trying to get that championship. But it's well deserved. There was a lot of good comers and goers throughout the afternoon. So that was pretty nice. Now the cup race, from what I heard and what I could see in the highlights, was pretty bad. Are we really surprised? The short track package. Oh no, a car that has a terrible short track package was terrible on a short track. How could we ever have saw this coming? There was virtually no way to pass at all. Once Joey Logano got the lead on a pit stop cycle, it was over. Like, unless he had a pit penalty or a blown tire or something, nobody was going to be able to pass him. And you know what? That's just how North Wilkesboro is. It's really how it was in the 90s or before when it was first operational. That's how it is now. And the finals, and there was really not a lot of crashes. The biggest one was Alex Bowman and not Tyler Reddick, or was it Tyler Reddick, crashing during a pit stop cycle because somebody pulled out right in front of them, which I thought was hilarious. But Josh Berry got into an accident as well. There were a couple other things, but nothing super crazy. Ryan Blaney had a shot to win at the end, but he got a pit penalty, set him back. And kind of that. I mean, Joey Logano Joey Logano comes alive, finally. Gets his first win of the year. He was already locked into the New Year's Eve Spectacular, so nothing gets changed there. But, Joey Logano's starting to maybe turn things around. It is an even year, so the even year merchant is making a run at it for the chase. Speaking of the chase, Ryan Blaney is locked into the chase. So good for him, I guess. But yeah, nothing too crazy to say there about North Wilkesboro. It was the first points race there in 30 years. And, it was only 6 cars finished on the lead lap. Like, what are we doing? But again, that's just how NASCAR was in the 90s as well, especially on the short tracks. So can people really complain? Yeah. And they can. I don't know if they can, but they will complain. And personally, I would not like to see North Wilkesboro lose this state again. I think people just need to realize this is how it is, and the car is the problem, not the track. But no, nobody wants to have that conversation because they can fit more ads on the car.
I think what they should do, and this is honestly the best option, take it off for 1 week, from 1 year. Yes, the car is the problem, 100%. Put Rockingham in for 1 year. See how that works. Going to go back and forth between 2 historic tracks. They're both in North Carolina. So it's not like you're not going to get another North Carolina track. You already have Charlotte, and you'll either have North Wilkesboro or Rockingham. I mean, so just switch it out between North Wilkesboro and Rockingham, and it could be like a legend track.
I'm not particularly mad at that idea. Why not go to both though?
True.
Can we get
make Rockingham a playoff track?
How the fuck can people justify taking away North Wilkesboro again, but still giving fucking Martinsville 2 dates with this car? No. Or fucking Bristol. Bristol's fucking worse. Take Bristol, one of its dates away. Give it to fucking Rockingham. I want to see this next gen car at Rockingham because I guarantee you it would be a good race.
That and also putting it in a playoff race. Put it in a playoff race. Dude, Rockingham was a playoff kind of track.
Does fucking Phoenix need 2 dates? No! Phoenix is a terrible track.
Phoenix just needs to stay on the beginning after Daytona. It should go Daytona, Phoenix, Atlanta. That's it. They took away one of Michigan's dates. For what?
That was because of COVID. And they just never gave it back to Michigan, which sucked. But
because trust me, I bet you right now a lot of people, and I've heard this from a lot of Michiganders, they want our second Michigan race back.
It would be good because the track is good.
NASCAR doesn't want to. NASCAR doesn't want to because NASCAR is a piece of shit. And no wonder, because we have to do stage races. We can't go 100% out of the entire race. Or we can't do it like ARCA where we go halfway. Fuck you.
Whatever. I honestly don't think they're going to take away North Wilkesboro because they put so much money into the track. I don't see them losing it. But who knows? One more thing for NASCAR before we get away from North Wilkesboro. The in-season challenge update. We have moved on to the championship round. Our 2 finalists for the championship this year for the in-season challenge comes down to this at Indianapolis this weekend. We got Ryan Blaney, the 3 seed, made it, going up against Todd Gilliland. That's right, folks. Todd Gilliland moves on after beating out Alex Bowman, who crashed. Oh, no, Todd Gilliland. No, that was last round. Todd Gilliland in this round beat Chase Elliott for the spot. What the fuck? And Ryan Blaney beat out Christopher Bell to get here. So it's going to either be... So you got two Fords fighting it out for the In-Season Challenge Championship in Indianapolis. It's going to be either Todd Gilliland or Ryan Blaney. My money's on Ryan Blaney, but hey, anything can happen, you know? I think it would be really funny if Todd Gilliland won. Did you update the poker chip standings as well?
I'm doing that right now, but I will tell you who won. Guess who's now 5-6 and tied with Tyler? Me, baby.
Congratulations.
As I had Joey Logano and he won the race.
Oh, we actually got the winner this week.
I picked another winner because I think that's the last winner that won was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Chicago one. But I don't remember. I'd have to go back and see who we had for that.
Did you? It was you had Briscoe. I think you picked.
I had Briscoe, yeah. So back victories for me. Let's go, baby.
That's great.
So right now it is tied. What I should do?
I'm 6-5, by the way. You got to update that.
Are you? Oh yeah, you are. Never mind. I'm not tied. Forget that.
I'm still winning. I'm still winning.
How are you 6-5? Wait a minute.
If you count the tracks that I've won at.
2, 3, 5, 6. You've won at 7. Oh wait, no, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, okay. So let me fix that real quick. And then I have to count how many times I've won, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then technically 5. So yes, you're right. Okay. I'm wrong. He's right. Usually how it goes. And then, of course, our guest, being only Ann Pomeroy, has only been 1-1. So.
All right. Couple other things that I have for NASCAR. They announced that the cars for Daytona, coming up in about a month here, are going to have shorter spoilers, but also less horsepower. This is in an effort to reduce drag, which I believe is to combat fuel mileage, but don't quote me on that. The shorter spoilers, I think, are a good thing. The less horsepower, I don't think is that great of a thing, but it's a plate track anyways, so I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. It's not a very large reduction either on either end, so hopefully it works. I mean, the other idea for combating fuel mileage is to make the tires have 5 lug nuts on them, making for longer pit stops, which allows more time to fuel the car. Because that's the reason why it even fucked up in the first place, isn't it? But no, you can't admit you're wrong. God, I'm really mad at NASCAR today. Also, Todd Gilliland, speaking of him, he was given a contract extension through 2027. So basically, just given another year with Front Row Motorsports, which is probably not a great thing for him, because if they wanted to keep him around longer term, they probably would have just offered him a longer contract. But
fair enough.
Maybe this it's a put up or shut up year. But more likely, they probably have a bigger prospect waiting in the wings for 2028. Hence why they're only giving him through 2027. So, that is that for everything that I have NASCAR related.
We can get into baseball now.
Well, first we gotta do our poker chips for
Fuck.
Indianapolis.
I have to go grab him real quick. Keep talking.
While Garry does that. Yeah, we got Indianapolis this weekend. The trucks are at in Indianapolis Raceway Park, IRP. And Cup and Xfinity are at the Big Oval. That should be a pretty good race with the chase looming and also the in-season challenge championship this weekend. Should be a pretty good race. I do plan on watching the Cup race, a good amount of it, if not the whole thing. Xfinity, I'll probably watch the start of. Trucks, I will not watch at all. I'll have to watch the highlights. But should be a pretty good race, though, all things considered. It should be fun.
By the way, you had William Byron last week, so.
Cool.
I don't know where William Byron finished, though.
I think he did fine, but obviously you picked the actual winner, so.
Anyways, we'll do Tyler's first, so I have to put the Joey Logano thing in here and shake her up. These fell, actually, like, not even after our podcast, and I thought I broke the glass, the mug, and I was going to be so upset.
That would have been terrible.
Because we got this from an antique shop, and we were like, this would actually be good for our freaking podcast.
It has been great.
NASCAR Poker Chip chooses for Tyler, Chase Elliott.
Absolute cinema. I got
Aren't they
it
at
locked
Indy?
down.
So maybe they'll win, maybe they won't. Let's see if I can get a Hendrick driver. I have to take Joe Logano out and put William Byron in, and then shake her up. And then for me, we have so we both got Hendrick drivers. The bad thing is, I got the worst Hendrick driver.
Uh-oh. Garry screwed.
Well, Tyler, you're going 7-5 this week.
Well, unless Chase Elliott crashes, I think I've got this win in the books, guys.
I had to either get William Byron or Kyle Larson. No, I get Alex fucking Bowman. And also, we haven't talked about this. I don't know if you have found this out yet. Justin Allgaier staying in the Xfinity Series next year.
Yeah, I know. He put off his retirement because he's still performing. I didn't know it was official.
He should have went to Cup.
Oh, he's too old to go to Cup. He also had a Cup Series stint. Do you not remember that?
Well, yeah, I remember
he ran in
that
Cup for
vividly.
like 2 or 3 years. He ran in Cup. He didn't do that great.
I mean, I remember that, but
he didn't have great equipment. But
he could go to the 48 car. Take Alex Bowman's spot, because Alex Bowman ain't doing shit.
I don't think he cares too much about going to Cup at this point in his career.
He's like a Matt Crafton.
Yeah, he'll do it like a relief driver situation, but not.
Or, you know how he has been doing, where he's been with Junior Motorsports for the Daytona 500?
Yeah, he'll still do that probably.
So, oh well. Baseball time.
We're getting to the meat and potatoes of the episode, baseball action. Because I'm going to spend a good amount of time talking about MLB stuff, considering I've got 2 new stadiums that I want to mention and a lot of good Tiger stuff. I'm going to let Garry take it over for the other parts of the baseball stuff first.
Okay. So we're going to start with the Kalamazoo Growlers, because there has been a lot for the Kalamazoo Growlers. I have been dying slowly. Because of the fact Kalamazoo has been on a losing streak. Mainly the reason why I wanted them to win the first half, because I knew they were going to do this shit. But they didn't. Now, did they? No. Anyways, let's continue on, shall we? On July 15th, Sorry, I heard a whine for some reason. I don't know who it was from. I think it was from my dog. But anyways, on July 15th, Kalamazoo ended the series off with the Battle Jacks as beating them 10-0. That's why the Battle Jacks suck ass. Anyways, then we go on to 2 games against the Flying Mummies. Let's be honest here. I'm actually liking the Richmond Flying Mummies. They have a good jersey. They have a good freaking team. I feel like they can win a championship in the next 1 to 2 years. They're really good. They might be my second favorite team next to Royal Oak and just Royal Oak and Kalamazoo. So, fuck Traverse City, fuck Battle Creek.
True.
They suck. But no, the Flying Mummies, we go on to face them 2 games. They beat us on the 16th of July, 18-14, which big game. Then we face them again, but we lose again on the 17th, 17-10. So both games we went double digits. I tell you what, this is a good game. These are good teams battling out. Then Growlers go on to face the Pit Spitters 2 games, and we lose both games. I'm not even going to say the scores because they were bad.
It was 11-3 and 7-4.
Tyler, shut up. So right now the series record between the 131 series is 1-10. After our first game of the year was a win against them. Again, literally the only win against the Pit Spitters was the first game of the season.
That's so funny to me still.
I hate it. They're on a 9-game win streak against us. And I hate it. And then on the 21st, the Growlers, coming off of a day off, maybe we could beat Rockford. Maybe we can get that streak out of the way. No, we lose 14-9. And you want to know what's worse? Right now, in the top of the 4th, Rockford is currently leading 8-1 against the Growlers.
Awesome. Growlers are in what we call free fall, ladies and gentlemen.
If they would have won the first half, this shit would have never happened. Ever. It's like watching the Kalamazoo Wings have a losing season. Or sorry, if the ECHL had 2 halves, right? And Kalamazoo Wings were going up and up and up and only had to win 1 single game, and the other team they had to beat was Toledo, and Toledo, for some odd reason, beats them and wins by so much. And then all of a sudden after that, they said, nah, we're just going to go downhill. That's technically what it is. They got upset that they didn't win the first half, and they just said, screw it, we give up. Now on to the other team that sucks ass, a.k.a. the Lansing Lugnuts. And as a fan of them, I can say that.
They are bad. They are pretty bad.
So they just came off of facing Lake County. And I'm not going to deny it. Lake County's really good. Okay? Come on, frickin'. Thank you. Lake County's really good. I'm not going to deny it. They're always good. Excuse me. No, it's Fort Wayne. They were against Fort Wayne. My bad. Because they were just on the All-Star break, and then Fort Wayne came into town. Anyways, so Friday, July 17th was postponed due to, listen to this, air quality. I wonder why it was air quality, Canada.
Dude, it was bad. It was bad air quality.
I wonder why,
Crazy
Minnesota. Minnesota, Canada, get your shit together.
Well, they did because the smoke there's no smoke in the air now.
Us Michiganders have to deal with not going to Taco Bell in a case of possibly getting massive shits. That, and also having so much hotness, being 90 degrees over, almost higher than 90 degrees actually, plus this smoke, it's like an apocalypse is happening.
And it was nuts. It was awful. I'm not surprised they postponed the game.
It's like that one meme. I don't know what it's called, but it's like that dog that's sitting on a chair with his coffee in front of him, and the fire is just surrounding him, and he's just saying, "This is fine."
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
It's just, that's what we're doing. We're just sitting inside saying, "This is fine." There's no issues.
When did it get postponed to?
So I think we play them in September again. Yes, we play them in September, and we will be playing 2 games on Wednesday, September 2nd, because that's when the bobblehead giveaway is going to be. So on that day, it's going to be on Fan Appreciation Night. So on Sunday, September 6th, that's when that bobblehead will be given away.
So there's a doubleheader on the 6th?
No, there's a doubleheader on the 2nd of September.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
But the bobblehead will be given away on Fan Appreciation Night.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha. Okay.
I'll
be there, September 6th.
But, also, FYI, next week I will be getting my stadium replica, thing, my straw hat, which I will be giving to Jeffy.
True.
Because
in like the you're gonna be there for the giveaway, or there are...
So what you can do, as if you work there, and I talked to the guy that runs it, he said the week after, I can come get the stuff. So all I have to do is in the span of 1 week, I can get, which this is coming out and I can't wait for it, the Lucky Nutcracker.
I will be getting that.
The straw hat.
I will not.
And then the stadium replica.
I will be getting that.
Because the stadium replica, I tell you what, I know exactly where I'm putting it, and I'm looking straight at it right now in my kitchen. I know exactly where I'm putting it. And it's going to be so cool. I already put the Snoopy bobblehead in my living room right now. So that's already there. It's because my stepmom loves Snoopy. So I put it over there. She likes the lug nuts, so I put it over there.
True.
Anyways. But speaking of which, let's go back to the lug nuts against Fort Wayne. So they're up against Fort Wayne. You got air qualityed because of Canada. And it got postponed to September 2nd. So now it's just a 2-game series. So no matter what, it's going to be split or won by one of the teams. Fort Wayne won on July 18th, 0-2. And then on July 19th, Fort Wayne lost to the Lansing Lugnuts 6-2. Now, we're recording this on Wednesday, July 22nd. The Lugnuts are facing the 16-7 Great Lake Loons, who are first place in the Midwest League East. So, some people, I hope, saw the thing I texted in the group chat of I don't want to see or hear Funky Feather at that arena. Tyler, stop. I hate that with a burning passion. I may love the Loons. I love the Loons when they're not facing the Lugnuts, but that is the one thing I hate the most. It is cringe. Super cringe. But guess what? I didn't have to see it a lot. I only saw it 6 times.
That's funny.
Because you know what happened? The Lugnuts put 9 runs on them. The Lugnuts actually beat a first-place team. And here's the standings right now in the second half. Real quick, let me just say, again, first half winners, Chicago Cubs affiliate, South Bend, and Cincinnati affiliate, Dayton Dragons, have already clinched their spot. So no matter what happens, wherever they're placed in the second half, doesn't matter. They're in the playoffs. Anyways, let's continue on. First place, Great Lakes. They are now 16-8. Next, Lake County, Cleveland affiliate, 2.5 games back. And what do you know? The team that was last place in the first half is now third place, 2.5 games back. The West Michigan Whitecaps.
Oh, boy.
They want their championship back. Fort Wayne is fourth, 5 games back. Dayton, the first half champions, are 5.5 games back. And then you got us Lugnuts, who are 8 games back in last place in the Midwest East. Now, for the Midwest League West division, you got Beloit, Miami affiliate, Quad City, 1.5 games back, Kansas City affiliate, Wisconsin, Milwaukee affiliate. They are also 1.5 games back. South Bend, 3 games back, the Chicago Cubs affiliate. Peoria, St. Louis affiliate, 5.5 games back. And then, of course, Cedar Rapids, 10 games back. So, let me just say, Cedar Rapids is the worst in the Midwest League. You want to know who's in front of them? The Lugnuts.
That's right, baby. We're not last.
Not last. If you ain't first, you're last.
Oh, well, I guess we're last then.
Yep. But it's funny. I can go all the way back to 2018 on this standings list. And we were literally, we had Beloit was an Oakland affiliate.
So they swapped.
Beloit was an Oakland affiliate before Miami. And then we had the Burlington Bees that used to be a part of the Midwest League. We had the Clinton Lumber Kings, who used to be a affiliate with us. And then Quad City was a Houston Astros affiliate. And then, you got the normal. But then you got Bowling Green, who was a Tampa Bay affiliate. And then the last one was Lansing, which was a Toronto Blue Jays affiliate. We went 37-33 that year. Second place. And I think, did we win the first half or did we win the second half? think we won the first half. No, we won the second half. Right? Oh no, Bowling Green won both, but we finished second, so that means we just, got it. So, yeah. But that was our last time that we went into playoffs, and that was with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette, who are now in the major leagues, and Bo Bichette's getting lots of money with the Mets, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is getting a lifetime bonus for 14 years for so much cash. Oh my God.
Making bank.
And he's a former lug nut. He's making bank, baby. Also, I did not get the Carlos Beltran jersey, sadly. So I'm going to have to look on eBay if people are selling it, so I could just yoink. But
you didn't ask for one?
I tried asking the guy for one, but he doesn't do extras.
Damn.
He doesn't have extras. But like for like the bobbleheads and stuff, that's the one we get. And the hats, because he orders extras for the workers and stuff.
I get
so.
All right. That's it for, I think, baseball action, of course, other than what I will take us over with. So, lots of MLB stuff to go over. Before we go over the Tigers, what they've been up to over the last week, I wanted to touch on the first stadium that we saw on our little Chili's trip, and it was American Family Field, formerly called Miller Park, home of the Milwaukee Brewers. We saw them play the Marlins on July 17th. They won 2-1 in 10 innings. It was a really good game. A couple solo bombs in the 5th inning was most of the scoring, and then the Brewers broke through in the 10th to win the game. I'll talk more about the stadium extensively in my review of it, but some highlights that I wanted to touch here. They obviously it's a stadium that has a retractable roof. It's a pretty new stadium, only about 25 years old, which is pretty young for a stadium. It's got a lot of very modern amenities. Of course, got the retractable roof. There's a really cool clock tower on the outside. Lots of really cool design pieces. It's huge. It looks massive. Lots of premium options. All that sort of stuff that you would expect from a pretty modern MLB ballpark. That doesn't mean it's all good, though. Because this is July 17th, the air quality in Milwaukee around this time was not very good. And so I was getting I wasn't getting worried about it though, because it has a roof on. I wasn't worried about any rain. I wasn't worried about the smoke, because they could just cover the stadium and they'd be fine. Because I thought, they've got good enough air filtration systems that they'll be able to, make it fine in the stadium. And when we rolled up to Milwaukee earlier in the day, the roof was closed. And so we're like, oh, okay, the roof's going to be closed. I was expecting to be closed. We pull up to the game and the roof is open. It's like, what the fuck? The roof is open? Now, the smoke wasn't as bad. The smoke cleared out earlier in the day. So there wasn't really much to worry about with that regard. And it didn't rain. So I guess it wasn't going to rain. So it made sense. But it was like 105 in Milwaukee when we went. Very, very, very fucking hot. And, that air filtration that I was talking about? Yeah, they don't have any of that. It is, other than the roof, there's no way for air to come in. Really, at all. So, it is extremely stuffy in there. There is no air, there's no breeze, there's no airflow, anything like that. It is fucking hot. We were literally dripping sweat almost the entire game. It was fucking miserable, and I was really disappointed with that. Obviously, I don't expect the stadium to be nice 70-degree air conditioning or whatever, right? But you would think there would be at least a method to have some airflow in the stadium. especially like when the roof is on. Like, I didn't understand that decision. It was just not. There was just no way to get any airflow. It was so hot, and it was just there's no way to get any relief. The only way you could get really any relief was going in the only air-conditioned rooms in the entire stadium, which were the team stores. And they weren't even that good air conditioning. There's one that was pretty good because you could stand by the vents, and that was really nice. And we cooled off there for a little bit. But the other ones they were cooler, but they weren't like super cool because they had to have the doors open so people could walk in and out. And that was fine. And then they had some fans going, but again, it's just blowing more hot air around, so it wasn't really doing a whole lot. And then to also try and cool off, me and Jeffy got some custard, which was really good custard, by the way, that they make at the stadium.
I like how Jeffy is like now into like hockey and baseball stuff now. We bring him to one hockey game, which was the Muskegon Lumberjacks, and all of a sudden, now he's just like, I'm so into this.
Yeah, it's great. I was surprised because Likus was supposed to come, but he wasn't feeling good. So he stayed behind at the hotel. And then me and Jeffy and Eli went to the game. And they're not like huge into baseball. So I was really just expecting them to do whatever, but they were actually pretty invested into the game. I was surprised, and I was really happy about that. We were having a great time. It helped that it was a pretty good game. It was a pitcher's duel with a couple home runs, and it was a good ending to the game. But I was very happy about that. And then, anyway, me and Jeffy got some custard because we were like dripping sweat, and we didn't really have any craving for any other food because it was all hot food except for the ice cream. By the time we had gotten the custard and we got into our seats again because we were in the upper deck.
It's ice cream, not custard.
They call it custard at the stadium.
I don't give a fuck what they call it. We're in Michigan, not Wisconsin right now.
True. By the time we got back to our seats, because the concession stand was in the upper deck, but it's a self checkout. Like you get so how you do is they have the machine, they put it in a cup for you, then you take it to a self checkout kiosk to pay. It took fucking forever because the machine wasn't fucking working. By the time I got back to my seat, it was already pooling up into my cup of melting. And I was like having to scarf this thing down just to keep it from melting. And eventually I went to go pick up my water, and I accidentally tipped the cup, and it went all over my shorts. It was bad. It looked like I had shat myself from the front. It was not great. But I cleaned up my shorts. We're okay.
That was false news. He didn't clean up his shorts.
The girls next to us were not having a great time. They were also not helping at all. They kept getting up for like the most minuscule reasons, and they still
like the Toledo trip.
Well, also, so another thing that the Brewers Stadium does really nicely, which most other stadiums that I've been to don't do this anymore, is allow outside food and drink. But like if you bring a sealed water bottle and like a individual size like. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Something's got. He's talking to somebody right now. The face on his.
All right, that was a spam call. It was coming from the Detroit area code, so I didn't know if it was a job update or something. But it was a spam call. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so they allow you to bring a sealed water bottle and like a family, like a individual size bag of like pretzels or chips or whatever, which we took advantage of because I've never seen this in another stadium before. So I'm like, this is great. You know, it's super hot out. This way we don't have to spend as much money. And we got in just fine. But the chips I didn't really want because it was so hot and I didn't really want anything that was going to make me more thirsty. So I just had it on the floor next to my seat, and these girls stepped on the bag probably about 3 times. It was super annoying, but whatever. It was done regardless. And the ice cream thing happened. It was good. It was good custard, I gotta say. Pretty good shit. But other than that, the stadium has really nice amenities. We had fun walking around as much as we did. We didn't walk around as much as I wanted to because it was so hot, but we did do a couple laps around the stadium.
Did you get the chance to go see the slide?
We could see it from where we were sitting, and because the Brewers hit a home run, we got to see him go down the slide. That was fun. So that was cool. You can't really get to it on foot unless you're like special escort there.
I think only the mascot and people can go up there. So
yeah, right. So that was fine, but anything else crazy from the stadium? We had some really rowdy guys behind us that were making some comments that I will not say here because they would get me taken down. Just say they do not like. They are quite racist people. We'll say that.
that's strike one. Not for you, Tyler. For them.
True. But it was otherwise it was a good game. Could see a lot of stuff. Good views. Pretty nice staff. Pretty nice ballpark, I gotta say. And they have an in-house brewery to brew their own beer. I didn't have any beer, obviously, but I thought it was cool that they had that. I think the only other stadium that has that is the Rockies Stadium. So it was nice. I'll go more in depth in some of the points that I made in my review of this stadium, but I just wanted to point that again. The Brewers won 2-1 in 10 innings, so it was a really good game. It was a good time. First time I've ever seen the Brewers or the Marlins, so really enjoyed it. I wish they still called it Miller Park. Oh, the other thing. This stadium is in a giant sea of parking lot, which I know does not make Ann Pomeroy very happy. I don't think it's as bad as the LA stadiums or Kansas City, but it's probably number 4 behind those.
But Detroit doesn't have a good one either.
Detroit's not great, but it's better than this, I have to say. There's at least other options to get to the ballpark besides driving yourself or Ubering. When for this ballpark, you cannot get to it. It is so far outside the city, and you have thankfully it was pretty easy to get in and out, all things considered. It didn't take us that long, but it's $17 to park, and it costs more to do an Uber. And you have no other way to get there. That was a little frustrating because I did expect the ballpark to be a little bit more downtown, and it wasn't. But oh well. What can you do? So just have that in mind if you've ever come to this ballpark. They are big on tailgating as well, so you can tailgate outside the ballpark. We saw a few people doing that, and it was nice. I would probably never do that unless it was for a playoff game, but it's cool to see, at least. So that's my thought on the Brewers ballpark. We'll get to the other ballpark that I went to a little later.
I can't wait for this one because I've also been to this one, and I really want to know Tyler's side.
First, let's get to the action from the Tigers. How have they been doing since they came back from the All-Star break? So they start their return from the All-Star break on the road. They've been on the road ever since. They were first out in LA playing the Angels. They beat the Angels in the first game 2-1. They were down to their final strike, down 1-0, and Howie Lee came through with a 2 RBI hit to give the Tigers the win there. So huge win there. They beat the Angels again on a Scooble start, 7-0. Then unfortunately they did lose the series finale 3-2, but they still took the series. Now, let's get to what I went to go see. So after they leave LA, they immediately head to Chicago. Chicago means Wrigley Field. And
Back in Chicago, I feel it. Another legend of me. I was. Go ahead.
We went and saw the first game of the series against the Chicago Cubs, which meant we got to see Wrigley Field. And this has been a bucket list stadium of mine for many, many, many years. I think it's for any sports fan, especially baseball, it's one that you have to go see. And, you know, unlike the Brewers ballpark, you can get to the stadium in other ways than driving or Ubering. And we took the train, which was really, really convenient. It got us right to the stadium, which I liked.
I took the train too when I went there. So me and you did the exact same thing. It was just more easier from our hotel to get from there from the train than,
I will say,
Ubering.
though, it was not as easy getting out. It was pretty easy getting in.
No.
But getting out, there's only one line that took us from the stadium to where our car was / hotel, and it was packed. But we got on a lot faster than I thought. It was just a bit. I don't know if you guys ever have ridden the subway or a train standing up before. It's like a Survivor endurance challenge. It is very, very difficult. Would not recommend, but we really didn't have a choice. Time-wise, though, wasn't too terrible. Now, how was the stadium? Holy shit, it's magnificent. Again, like the Brewers Stadium, I'll go more in depth in my review, but this stadium has a lot of very old charm, but also old quirks that I think are good. There's a lot of things about this stadium that I really, really liked. First off, brick flooring for the concourse, fucking awesome. Also, part of it goes underground, which I didn't know. There's a lot of like hills you got to climb, stairways you got to climb. It's not just a simple you can walk around the whole stadium loop type concourse like you see at like the Tigers or the Brewers or whatever, which shows its quirkiness. It was a little annoying because I was trying to walk around the whole stadium. You can't get in the outfield as well without the outfield ticket because the entire outfield is GA, which kind of pissed me off, but because I wanted to go in the outfield during Tigers batting practice and I couldn't, which sucked, but oh well. But otherwise, like, I mean, a lot of those quirks, though, other than the GA seating thing, not being able to get out there, a lot of it was cool. Like, just seeing how it was designed over 100 years ago is really, really nice. But it's not old, like, bad old. Like, it's very classic, very retro. I mean, it's still a really, really nice stadium with some very nice amenities and everything like that. Even the fucking bathrooms were so nice, even though they're piss troughs. It still felt like a fucking bathroom at the Four Seasons. I mean, it was just so nice. And it's an open air stadium, which meant they had places for airflow, and there was a nice breeze that day. Oh my god, the temperature was a night and day difference. It was so nice, especially up at our seats.
If we ever go to Fenway, I would love to go, because the two things that are on my list, I know I hate Boston Red Sox with a burning passion, but I've seen Wrigley. I need to see the other old stadium, which is Fenway, because I've always wanted to see the Green Monster. Like, that's my main goal.
My main goal is to blow up.
To blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
I've toured Fenway. It looks pretty nice. I'd like to see a game there too, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But for this stadium, I mean, it's just magnificent architecture, magnificent feel. The breeze was awesome. and just getting nice to walk around everywhere. The only other real thing that I have to complain about with this stadium is the stairs. The stairs going to the seats are very, very steep. I would say too steep. I would prefer them to add more steps to make them less steep than just a few steps than really steep. Especially in the upper deck where we were sitting like 2 rows from the top row in the upper deck, which was still a great view of the stadium, and we got that nice breeze because we were up so high we could see the city skyline, which was beautiful. But getting up there is not an easy feat at all, because there are some ramps, but you do have to do stairs. Like, you can't get away with not doing stairs for most of the seats up there. And those steeps, I mean, they're like this tall. It's like climbing a fucking lighthouse. I mean, it is so steep, almost dead vertical. They were not pleasant to do. So I tried not to walk around as much because of that. But I still saw what I wanted to see. Also, the seats are tiny. I'm sorry, I know I'm a fatter person, but the seats were absolutely tiny. And Fenway has that same thing too. Again, it's a product of its age. You can't expect anything different, but just something that I noticed. That's really it for complaints about this stadium, though. I don't really have anything else to complain about. It's an extremely beautiful ballpark. It's everything that you would expect. Like, when everybody says things about Wrigley Field, they're correct. They're true. I mean, this is literally one of the most magnificent baseball stadiums I have ever seen in my life. Damn near say it could be my favorite MLB stadium. Seen 5 now, behind Milwaukee, obviously we just talked about, Detroit, obviously, and then Cleveland, and the other Chicago stadium, the White Sox.
If you had to rank them, of all the 5 ones you have, what would you rank all 5 so far?
I'd definitely probably put Cubs at number 1. Number 2, I'd probably put Detroit. I'd probably put...
Not biased.
I'd probably put Brewers at 3, Cleveland at 4, and then White Sox at 5. There's nothing really appetizing about the White Sox stadium. Like, you go there once, and then that's it. It's not a bad ballpark, it's just mid. Same thing with Cleveland.
Which now that means you've been to both Chicago sport team baseball.
Well, the only stadium I have to see left in Chicago is the United Center, where the Bulls and the Blackhawks play. Then I never have to return.
Ew. Blackhawks. Ew.
Then after that, never have to return to Chicago. So there we go.
Unless Detroit's playing.
Which I might see the United Center this year. Ann wants me to go see Red Wings at Blackhawks, so maybe I'll go and see that with her. That'd be fun. But that's a ways down.
And see the Red Wings win.
Drew. Let's see, what else is there to talk about with this stadium that I have to, off the top of my head. Nothing crazy else. I did like that there was a roof over our seats. Most of the upper deck seats are covered, which I think is cool. Obviously, it means you have those annoying poles, but we could see the entire field from where we were sitting. So,
Battle Jacks.
But the other thing I want to comment on is the environment. It was a damn near sold out game for a Monday night regular season game. That to me is pretty impressive for an MLB team. It felt like a playoff game. It felt like the environment was surreal. And there were a ton of Tigers fans there as well. There was a lot, definitely more Cubs fans, but a ton of Tigers fans, more than I thought there would be. It really did feel like a playoff game, and it was second to none otherwise. So I have to commend them on that. The Cubs, I think, do usually get pretty good regular season attendance, and it was not any different here. So now, that on its own, seeing Wrigley Field is all fine and dandy, right? And seeing the Tigers play at Wrigley Field, that's an awesome experience, right? Not everybody gets to do that. But not only did I see the Tigers play at Wrigley Field, I saw the Tigers win at Wrigley Field. And that, holy shit, what a game we chose to go to. Riley Green and Dylan Dingler going back-to-back home runs to take the Tigers up 4-0 in the first inning. And I'm like, holy shit, Tigers are going to steamroll them, going to win this fucking game. Jack Flaherty was locked in the first couple innings, like, holy shit, we might have a chance. And then Jack Flaherty actually happened. He gave up back-to-back home runs himself, and it was 4-3. Then Jack Flaherty gets pulled. After that, not a whole lot happens for a little while. But then Dylan Dingler goes deep again for his second home run of the game. Later in the game, makes it 5-3 Tigers. Then we bring in Kyle Finnegan, and he gives up another home run, so our game is tied at 5. We go into the bottom of the ninth, 5-5 game. The Tigers have blown many scoring chances. They had the bases loaded twice, didn't bring anybody in. The guys second and third didn't bring anybody in. And while we're in a 5-5 game, trying to send it to extra innings, who do the Tigers bring in as their closer? Kenley Jansen, everybody. What does he do? Walk, walk, walk. Bases are loaded with 1 out. So we get a strikeout. Like, all right, bases loaded, 2 out. Here comes Alex Bregman to the plate. He just got a hit earlier in the game that led to a 2-run bomb to tie it. So I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to win the game. Kenley Jansen proceeds to try and knock Alex Bregman's head off with 3 pitches right in his face. So now it's a 3-0 count. Somehow, Kenley Jansen locks in and throws 3 straight swinging strikes to Alex Bregman to retire the side.
I feel like he purposely threw it at him and just said, you know what? I'm going to make these Cubs fans feel like they're going to win, and then I'm just going to make them upset.
I mean, it kind of looked like it. Like, he was a giant troll through that part of the game, but when he struck out Alex Bregman, dude, I mean, the Tigers fans got electric. Because it was, again, playoff environment. There's a ton of Cubs fans. There was a guy in front of us that was being really annoying the entire game. So when we struck out Alex Bregman to go to extra innings, I was on fire, dude. It was so cool. I cannot believe that he actually did that. I really thought we were about to lose in a walk-off walk, and held on. Then we get to the 10th. And the Tigers, and then the Cubs have back-to-back errors on ground balls. And the Tigers capitalize, score 3 runs in the top of the 10th, including Spencer Torkelson with a clutch hit, finally. Dude never hits in the clutch. Because before that, the bottom 4 in the Tigers lineup had gone 0 for 16. But Spencer Torkelson was the one hit, and the Tigers ended up going like 1 for 18 in the bottom 4 of the lineup, which is absolutely terrible. But they score 3 runs. They're up 8-5. That's when the stadium started to clear out, and I started to feel good. But the Tigers tried to give up the game as the Cubs got a runner in. Well, the Cubs had first and third with 1 out. Here comes a ground ball to Kevin McGonigal. What does Kevin McGonigal do? Bobbles the ball, so they can't get the double play. So now the Tigers have. Now it's 8-6, and the Cubs got the time man of the plate. Then they walk the guy. So now the winning run's coming to the plate. But then the ground ball for the game winner. Tigers win 8-6 in 10 innings after a 30-minute rain delay, even though it never actually rained. Man, what a game. What a game. First time I've ever seen the Tigers win on the road. First time I've ever seen the Cubs. Wrigley Field. What an experience. What a win. That was definitely the highlight of the trip for me. Was getting to see Wrigley Field and getting to see that game and getting to see that win. I'll never forget that. Absolutely.
Who did the
incredible.
Brewers face?
The Marlins.
Oh, well. Okay. I was going to say, I thought they were facing like the Dodgers or something. And I was going to say, oh, why is that not iconic? But I just realized, oh, yeah, it's the Mariners.
But, yeah, just an incredible experience. Wrigley Field was awesome. And there was a lot of Tigers fans there to celebrate it. So, I was really glad we did that. Well, the reason that Jack Flaherty got pulled so early, though, in the game, we found out, was not because he was hurt, but because he has a muscle strain. He's on IR. Great.
Another pitcher gone. When do we ever get a break?
Doesn't look super serious, but he'll probably be out for a couple months because, pitchers are babies. So that's what that is.
Oh, I hurt my hands.
But for the Tigers, even though we didn't go to that next game, how did they do last night? Well, they ended up getting their ass kicked. Framber Valdez was on the mound, and he didn't even last an inning. He was awful. And the Cubs jumped all over the Tigers last night in an 11-2 loss. Not good. Not good at all. But tonight, they play again. I'm not going to be able to watch it because I'm working. But hopefully the Tigers can take the series win there in Chicago. That'd be a good series win for them, as the Cubs are really good this year.
Go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are going to win today.
True. All right. That's all I had, though. Wrigley Field, good stadium. Brewers Stadium, really good. That's all I gotta say. And that's all I've got for this episode of the podcast, Gary. I don't know if you have anything else baseball related you want to comment on.
Nope, I haven't really. No.
All right, then. Let me just double check, make sure we've got everything covered. Yeah, it looks like we do have everything covered. So, with that said, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Live, Laugh, Left. Again, I will do more extensive reviews of both the Brewers Stadium and the Wrigley Field. Those will be going up on the main channel soon enough. And you'll be seeing all the excellent footage from that trip on the main channel soon enough. But anyways, guys, otherwise, that's going to do it for this review. Next week, we will recap NASCAR's action in Indianapolis, more Tigers action, more baseball. We might have Ann back on next week, as she was planning on doing some couple new stadiums, but we'll see if that actually happens or not. But otherwise, it's going to do it for this video and this podcast. So stay tuned for a bunch more amazing content from both me and Hitmaster. Until next time. See you guys later. Goodbye.